Norway is a beautiful place. It's known for its gorgeous fjords, snow-capped mountains, and of course, its Vikings. But did you know that it's also home to some terrifying ghost stories? Welcome back, everyone. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at ghost stories in the fjords, so grab a mug of tea or hot chocolate, settle in, and let's get into it. First, we have to talk about the Norwegian folklore surrounding the fjords themselves. There are over 350,000 lakes in Norway, and many of them are deep and dark. For centuries, fishermen have been out on these dark waters and they've come across some pretty strange things. In Norwegian folklore, there are creatures called Hekser, which translates to sea witches. They live in the fjords and lakes and often appear as grotesque old women rowing around in their boats or sometimes even riding seals. Some say that they can lure sailors off course with their magical powers and lead them to their deaths. Others say they can transform themselves into beautiful women to trick men who are then doomed to fall in love with them forever. Now, while these creatures may sound like something straight out of a fairy tale, there have actually been reports of fishermen seeing strange things in the dark depths of the Norwegian fjord. Could they really be encountering sea witches? Well, maybe, or maybe there's another explanation. One fisherman named Lars told me about a mysterious encounter he had while fishing in the fjords near his village. He was out on his boat one evening when the sky turned a deep shade of purple and the water became still and silent. Suddenly, he saw a figure rising out of the water. It was a woman, and she was unlike anything he had ever seen before. She had long, flowing hair and skin that was as white as snow. She seemed to be beckoning to him with one finger. Of course, Lars was terrified. He thought it might be one of the sea witches from local folklore, but he couldn't help but feel drawn to her. Despite his fear, he followed her out into the fjord, and then, just as suddenly as she had appeared, she vanished. He searched the water, but he could find no sign of her. And when he returned to the village, no one believed his story. Some people said it was just a figment of his imagination, but others believed it could have been a Seki, a creature from Norse mythology that can transform itself into a seal or a human form. Whatever the truth may be, Lars's story is just one of many that have been passed down through generations of Norwegian fishermen. Each one tells a tale of mystery and danger on the dark waters of the fjords. Now, while stories of sea witches and selkies are certainly scary, there's another type of ghost story that haunts the Norwegian fjords, the abandoned village. Imagine this: you're exploring the remote regions of Norway and you stumble upon an old abandoned village. The houses are dilapidated and the streets are overgrown with weeds. As you walk through the village, you begin to feel a sense of unease. You can almost hear the echoes of laughter and footsteps from long ago residents. Suddenly, you see a figure in the distance. An old woman perhaps, or a man in traditional Norwegian clothing. You approach them, but as you get closer, you realize that they're nothing but rotting corpses, preserved in the cold Norwegian fjords. Well, unfortunately, this isn't just a scene from a horror movie. It's a reality for some of the unlucky travelers who have visited certain abandoned villages in Norway. In recent years, Norway has become a popular destination for tourists, and one of the most popular activities is hiking and backpacking. Many travelers head to the remote regions of the country to explore the wilderness and experience the beauty of nature. But some of these explorers have stumbled upon something truly terrifying: abandoned villages that are home to the restless spirits of those who died there long ago. One such village is Fjords, which was abandoned in the 1960s when the government flooded the area to create a reservoir. Today, hikers can visit the village and see the ruins of the homes and the church, but they do so at their own risk. According to local legend, the spirits of the former residents are said to roam the village at night, and some hikers have reported hearing disembodied voices and footsteps. Others have even claimed to have seen the ghosts of villagers going about their daily routines. Of course, there's no way to prove that these stories are true, but the Norwegian government is taking them seriously enough that they actually put up warning signs near the village, warning visitors that they may be entering a haunted area. Another abandoned village that's rumored to be haunted is the island of Fjords. This village was also abandoned in the 1960s, and it's said that the spirits of the former residents are still there. Some visitors have reported seeing the ghost of a young girl who drowned in the nearby lake, while others have heard the sound of children playing in the street. But the scariest story comes from a hiker who claimed to have seen the ghost of an entire family in their farmhouse. They were sitting around the table eating dinner as if they had never left. Now, these stories may sound like tall tales, but they're actually not that unusual in Norway. There are many other abandoned villages throughout the country that are rumored to be haunted by the spirits of those who died there. The reason for this is simple. Norway is a very old country, and many of its villages were abandoned during the 19th century when the population began to move to cities. This left behind a large number of abandoned homes and buildings, many of which are still standing today. And when a place is left abandoned, it's not long before nature takes it back. Vines grow through the walls and trees take root in the streets, and it can be hard to imagine that there were ever people living there at all. But that's exactly what makes these places so eerie. They're a reminder of the people who once lived there and the lives they lived. And it's not uncommon for visitors to feel a sense of sadness or melancholy when exploring an abandoned village. It's like a graveyard without the graves. The spirits of those who died there are still present and waiting to be discovered by the brave few who dare to enter. There are many different theories as to why these places are haunted. Some believe that when a place is abandoned, the spirits of those who died there become restless and are unable to move on. Others believe that the spirits of those who died violently or tragically are drawn to these places and use them as a way to communicate with the living. Whatever the truth may be, there's no denying that these abandoned villages are a popular destination for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. There are even companies that offer guided tours of these locations, allowing visitors to explore the eerie ruins and learn about the history of the area. If you're looking for an adventure that's a little bit different from the ordinary, then perhaps you should consider visiting one of these abandoned villages in Norway. Just be prepared for anything. You never know what you might find. Thank you all for watching. Which of these Norwegian fjord ghost stories was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload.